respect is a two-way street, but this chat was like two kids fighting over toys, so they just ended up mad as our desperate Einstein resorted to posting job ads on the street and landed a temp gig teaching elementary school kids math talk about going big to small. But Einstein's lessons weren't exactly basic. Thermodynamics and hypothetical scenarios left the kids utterly baffled. Soon, his father complained that under his advanced teaching, the kids' grades stagnated, even ranking last. What's the point of algebra? His father huffed, if you don't get its importance for college. Just like that, Einstein was out of the job. Meanwhile, Malva had given birth, and just when Einstein wanted to visit, his sister popped up. She brought some bad news that she was in pain, so Einstein had no choice but to head back to check on Dad. At this point, Dad was no longer against Einstein's choices. He held his son's hand and encouraged him never to give up on his dreams, pure fatherly love. However, Einstein lost interest in science, and after his last talk with Dad, he passed away. Bad news piled up. Tragically, his newborn died, worsening Einstein's woes. Malva lost father and daughter, shelving her dreams. She proposed to a grieving Malva. Simply seeking stability, Einstein turned to friends for job leads. And so she ended up in a job she once sneered at, becoming a mere clerk at the patent office. This was the start of her legendary life. It was this experience that led to her groundbreaking 4 papers discussing photons, molecular size determination, Brownian motion theory, and special relativity. These 4 papers were dubbed Einstein's miracle year, and shockingly, they were all done while he was working at the patent office. In a surreal march, she presented a paper to Professor Crane, claiming she could use Planck's constant to explain the photoelectric effect. However, despite her deep-seated conviction that her ideas were correct, the professor still thought she was daydreaming, forcing her to return home helplessly, fully aware that her ideas were spot on. But convincing self-righteous academia wasn't easy. Who cares about a clerk's view? Her wife comforted her. Forget about Professor Crane. Just publish your paper and grab the attention of more science big shots. However, Einstein declined due to her heavy workload, leaving no time for research. Consequently, they found themselves spending countless all-nighters in the lab together. They finally finished their first paper on the photon theory, but when they sent it out, no response whatsoever. What a bummer. The great scientist Planck, known as the father of quantum mechanics, read Einstein's paper with indifference. This outstanding Nobel Prize-winning paper failed to create even a ripple in academia. But Einstein's legendary life was just getting started. The couple dove back into research, talk about no breaks. Feeling utterly exhausted, she longed for a cup of coffee to give her a lift as the sugar grains dissolved into the coffee, spreading out continuously and accompanied by a cluster of tiny bubbles rising to the surface. This peculiar phenomenon instantly ignited a spark of inspiration within her. To prove molecular existence, she needed more time and secretly studied molecules during breaks. But her boss, Halley, caught her red-handed and gave her a severe scolding. Einstein went to Marcel to complain that his workload was extremely heavy, leaving him absolutely zero personal time. She needed time for research, so Marcel offered help. Einstein expressed he needed an assistant, and friend Michel stepped up. With the assistance of her friend, her second academic paper was successfully published. However, Professor Planck remained cautious towards her propositions and, influenced by political biases, conveniently overlooked the existence of Einstein. The paper shocked academia again. Einstein knew just having an initial idea about light wasn't enough. Data was a must. So she proposed a new idea, calculating molecular operations in 3D space, but the vast calculations left little time, even with Malva's help. On top of that, Einstein's mom believed Malva should only handle household chores, no need for her in science, which absolutely infuriated her. This made Malva feel miserable. She was a smart woman, not content with being just a stay-at-home wife. Meanwhile, Einstein couldn't speak up for her, and family conflicts distracted her focus, forcing her to work and rest at the patent office. Michel suggested she build a model. Simple experiments could also prove her point, and they instantly hit it off. Thus Einstein's third paper, Brownian motion, was born, but academia still barely noticed. She saw Philip Layton win the Nobel Prize, hoping her work would gain attention, but reality left her feeling perhaps it was time to tone it down and live a normal life, watching colleagues bustle around at work. Here she found herself lost in confusion, until Michelle arrived to comfort her when seeing her downcast spirit. They began to chat cheerfully, delving into the great theories of Newton and Maxwell, and this seemingly ordinary exchange unexpectedly sparked a fresh spark of inspiration for Einstein. And thus, his theory of relativity was born. According to Newton, time and space are absolute, yet Einstein thought otherwise. While playing with a child, he glanced at the clock and fiddled with a toy train on the floor. Then he muttered to himself as a brand new idea surged in his mind. He quickly found his friend Michelle to share this major discovery. Close your eyes and picture yourself looking down at the tracks. Imagine a train speeding 2 lightning strikes simultaneously. If mid-train, do they seem synchronous? The answer is obviously yes. Now, let's take a closer look at the lights. Do you think they occur at the same time? Do they seem simultaneous to you? No, because you're moving. You're moving from one place away from another, while for me, standing still, they're simultaneous. How can 2 people experience the same event differently? Who can manage that? Right, in the end, it's you. Needle time isn't absolute. Back home, Einstein seemed to finally catch a glimpse of new direction. Don't forget to subscribe.